Hello, my name is Kareem Chitakwi Quincy Abdel, and I'm a student of Grand Canyon University. So today I'll be doing a presentation on cyber threats and the attack vector for the course CYB 505. So I will start by giving a rundown on the key takeaways from a recent C-suite presentation. Then I'll also talk on potential system attacks and threat actors that might perform them. Then I'll also lay out the differences between a threat and vulnerability. Then finally, I will give the different attacks that each of these six threat actors perform against the hospital, starting with the least serious to the most serious threat actor. So, just some key takeaways from the C-suite presentation. There are currently six key threat actors that can harm the hospital or organization. So, APT, cyber terrorism, script kiddies, cyber criminals, hacktivists, insider threats. So, APT is advanced persistent threat. It's an attack where intruder gains access to the network and remains undetected for a very long period of time. Then cyber terrorism, those are kind of like threat actors who infiltrate networks and put viruses, and that results to violence, mostly motivated political on data systems and programs. So script kiddies are criminals with low skill sets using scripts without any idea of its functionality. So cyber criminals are individuals with a specialty in all type of crimes, cyber crimes, exploiting all sort of weaknesses with the aim to gain access to our systems. Then we also have activists, who are kind of like group of criminals who unite and attack because of political causes. Then finally, insider threats. We are kind of like regarded as one of the most dangerous threat actors, since they kind of like they turn organization for personal gain, as they have access to company systems and sensitive data. Then the potential system attacks and actors that might perform them. So we have phishing attacks. These are kind of like criminals who kind of like send deceptive emails to individuals or organizations, just kind of like tricking individuals into clicking those links so they can gain access to their personal informations like credentials or logins. So we also have ransomware attacks. These are kind of like hackers who kind of like use ransomware to encrypt organizations' data, making it inaccessible. Then in return, they kind of like tend to ask ransom in exchange for the decryption key. So actors here involve cyber terrorism and cyber criminals. So we also have DDoS attacks, which kind of like a distributed denial of service attacks. They're kind of like hackers who overwhelm the company's network with traffic, cause it to crash, interrupting services. Actors here include cyber criminals and script kiddies. So we also have malware attacks. Malware can be used to steal, delete, or alter data. It can be used to monitor users' activity or disrupt operations. Actors here include cyber terrorisms and APTs. And finally, we have man-in-the-middle attacks. These are in this type of attack, the hacker intercepts communication between two parties to steal or manipulate data. So actors here include cyber criminals and hacktivists. So we have some differences between a threat and a vulnerability. So it's important for us to know that threat and vulnerabilities are two of the most important concepts in information security. So a threat is a potential danger. It can be physical, like an earthquake, or it can be digital, like a virus or a ransomware attack, whereas a vulnerability is a weakness in the system that makes it susceptible to a threat. For example, if you have an old version of Windows that is not your computer and are not regularly updating it with security updates from Microsoft, then hackers may be able to get in and steal your information. We also have threats can include people, processes, and technology, whereas a vulnerability can include technical issues such as bugs and non-technical issues such as poor training practices. In general, threats are potential events that could cause harm, while a vulnerability are weaknesses that could be exploited by an attacker. So this is just kind of like prioritization of threats from the least serious to the most serious. So we have script kiddies, cyber terrorism, cyber criminals, insider threats, advanced persistent threats, APT, then hacktivists. So, and then finally, we'll be talking about the different attacks that each of these threats actor might perform against the hospital, starting from the least serious to the most serious threat actor. So we start with the script kiddies. We have examples of attacks here involve cross-site script attacks, which kind of like injecting malicious executable scripts into the provided inputs of hospital employees, their laptops. We also have DDoS denial, distributed denial of service attacks, more of overwhelming the hospital's network with traffic, causing it to crash and interrupting services by attackers. So we have cyber terrorism. Attacks here involve IoT attacks, Internet of Things attacks, gaining access to sensitive data in the hospital database through the help of medical devices. We have ransomware attacks, encrypting a hospital's data, thus making it inaccessible and demanding a ransom in exchange for a decryption key, which kind of like mostly performed by attackers. So also have cyber criminals. Attacks here involve phishing attacks, more of sending deceptive emails to hospital staffs where they go to gain login credentials and sensitive data. They also have malware attacks used to monitor, steal, and alter operations in the hospital database. So we have insider threats. So that's we have attacks that we have sabotage attacks, deliberate damage of hospital tools by dissatisfied employees or disgruntled employees. So also have disclosure of sensitive data attacks. That's more of deliberate disclosing critical information such as electronic protected health information. So we also have advanced persistent threats, APTs. We have eavesdropping attacks here, listening for and possibly recording hospital network traffic to obtain any useful data by attackers. So also have spear phishing attacks. That's more of targeting a particular hospital staff or the hospital by using malicious emails. So finally, we have hacktivists, which is we have examples of attacks. We have cryptojacking, data attack, unauthorized use hospital staff members' computers or the hospital servers to mine for cryptocurrency. So we also have breaches attacks. We have unauthorized access to sensitive healthcare data by attackers who kind of like use that information to further cause damage to the hospital. So that was all I had for you guys today. So the final slide there is more of our references. That's where we had our information for today's presentation. Thank you all for listening. Hope you enjoyed it.